Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 119 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. I'm standing in my hallway again, and there's going to be some destruction taking place today, so if you want to see what's going on, all you have to do is stay tuned. Well, as I said, there's some demolition that's taken place, but it's a little bit difficult to be doing the work and filming the work at the same time in this little area. So I basically ripped the floor out of here, and I'm going to show you what kind of floor that was. But before I do that, uh, the walls and the ceiling are painted. Um, my son-in-law Murray did this, and it's an awesome job. Very, very good. The floating of the ceiling worked out really well as well, so this is all coming along as it should. You'll notice the doors and the door colors really look off now because the gray paint, the lighter gray, there's a tinge of blue in it as well, but it really makes these look old. But this is all going as well. All the doors are getting changed. So with that in mind, let's take a little bit of a look at what type of floor was in here. So about 20 years ago when this was put in, this was kind of the standard for a cheap floor. And we put in a cheap floor because we knew it wasn't the final floor. So you basically put down this kind of a foam underlay, got stapled on, and then the laminate got laid over top of it. And this worked. It was just the way it was done. So I pulled it all up. I'm going to throw it all in the garbage can. There's a few staples that I'm going to need to deal with. But the next step in all of this is I'm going to find all the joists in this hallway, and I'm going to re-screw this floor down. And yeah, it's going to be going through the particle board, which I'd prefer it didn't, but I'm not taking the particle board out. I'm sorry, my life isn't long enough to do that. So we're going to screw through it. We're going to try to get rid of all the squeaks. Got a little bit of a squeaky area right in here. And the other bad thing about this is right where the main ducts run in the basement, so I can't get to the bottom of the floor here. So it is what it is. I'll do the best I can, and we never go in this part of the house anyway, so it probably won't matter if it squeaks a wee bit, but we'll try to get rid of it. Okay, I will bring you back when I have lines drawn on the floor and I'm putting screws in. Well, there wasn't a lot to do here, but I'm getting down to the end of it. You can notice that I drew lines, so the screws will go into the joists. If I would have had full access to screws, I maybe would have put 3 inches in, but these are 2.5, and this is 3/8 particle board covering 5/8 plywood. So it's still going a good 1.5 inches into the timber, which I think will be adequate. As far as color of screw goes, that's kind of been a little bit of a thing for debate lately. They're making the gold screws, I think, are general purpose, the brown screws and the green screws, and I always get mixed up which one's for which. Some are for treated wood, but I bought these on sale, and I'm not even going to tell you where I bought them because you all know that. But what I've done to compensate for that is I've been putting screws in, just like the drywall, in pairs. So let's say I'm just going to screw this seam here. The joint in the K3 is there. Okay, so what I would do is down the middle of the hallway here, I'm just going to mark them. I'd put 2 in like that, and then I'd go over to the wall and put 2 in like that. And then at the joint, I just put 1 on this side and 1 on that side. And then basically by eye, dividing the difference, let's see if I can do it here, into 2 sets. And And I think that is going to be good. I did mention in the little segment, in the previous little segment, that there was a squeak by the two bedroom doors. That kind of made a crack about it that we just wouldn't walk there. It's gone. That squeak is gone. So this seems to work fairly well. We've got another little squeak right in this area here, so I'm hoping that when I finish screwing this down today that we are going to be done with that. Now that doesn't quite finish the floor modifications for this part of the renovation. It would be great if my kitchen cabinets were done and installed and I could just do the flooring throughout. But we're going to take it just past the closet. I'm going to run one board all the way through to link the two floors together, and then that's where we're going to leave it for this winter's renovation. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically show you how this works. Not that you haven't seen screws go in before, but hey, so I would just, and I'm putting them quite deep into the particle board. They're a good eighth under the surface. So boy, it's easy when you mark them. Oops, this bit is also starting to wear out. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. Okay, we've just got a few more left here. It would have been good to have taken the K3 out, or the particle board, but oh man, I don't know. That's just a way bigger chore than I was up for. Oops. Okay, well that's the stuff that I've marked, and we're just gonna, oh yeah, yep, that's gone, and I have only hit part of it yet. So yeah, I think this is going to work out good. It's a good quick fix kind of. Um, yeah, I think we're going to be happy with this when it's done. So what's going to happen next is I'm going to finish screwing this part. You guys don't need to see that. It's just more of this. And then we're going to vacuum it all really good. The one thing I missed telling you, there were all kinds of little staples in this floor from when that white foam underlay was installed. I stapled it on pretty good because I like to nail things well. But so I pulled all of them as I laid out the lines, and so we'll vacuum. And I think what I'm going to do is I need to find some sort of floor float that I can put on here and get all the little imperfections out of the floor and float it and make it all good. And then we'll throw the vinyl laminate flooring in. And vinyl laminate in this country or in Saskatchewan Nothing gets bigger here. The humidity isn't that high. This house is probably at 7, 8% humidity. It's dry. So I'm not going to install it as loose as they say because it just shifts then and comes apart. So anyway, I will get back to that, and that closes this little segment. Oh, it's about 8 o'clock Wednesday evening. Had classes the last 2 days and trying to get a little bit of stuff done in the house yet so this renovation doesn't take a year again. Um, Made a little bit of headways in here. The last clip I showed you, we were working on the floor, and that has worked out really well. We've been walking on it now for a couple of days, and I haven't heard any new squeaks and things, so that's been really good. The other things that we did in here is I just finished off a little bit of the electrical and through the drywall stuff. For example, hung the lights properly again, furnace thermostats installed, central vac outlet. I'm going to go around this renovation, and whenever we work in a room, I'm changing out the plug-ins and all that stuff. This house is 40 years old, but I think I've changed switches and plugs, I think 2 times already. So nothing, I don't like that stuff to get old. So on this side here, the smoke detector went in, humidistat, doorbell. I need a new switch here, otherwise I'd have done that, and the other light. So, and like I said, this floor is good here, but before we can lay flooring, all the interior doors are coming out. Okay, this is a little bit of a distressing situation. So apparently, and I forgot about this completely, when we put this floor in, it was kind of a temporary thing because our dog at the time basically developed a taste for linoleum and chewed it all up. So we had a long rug here apparently that covered most of the damage. But then my daughter was getting married and we thought we had to have a nice house for entertaining the company. So I quickly laid this floor down. And what I didn't do in this section, and you'll see it here, is that's the backer on the lino. I never took it out. I just ripped the vinyl off the top, and that's not good because that's a lot of fun to get off. But now it has to come up. So my plan is this. So if you come over here, you can see how this is going to go. Now, when I laid this floor, I should have not cut this tongue back here and just left it. But I think the reason I did it is because where the subfloor joined, I wanted to be able to fill this. And I wasn't sure if I would damage the tongue on there when I did that. So I cut it back. We put a strip in here, and we've used it like that for about, 2 years now. So this is what's going to happen. This tile is lined up with this joint here, and this is locked together. So this is the first tile that's going to run all the way through. And I wanted to get to this tile because what I'm going to do, and unfortunately I have to pull 3 tiles out here, recut them, slide them in, and then work along the edge here. Now, I think it looks like along the railing part here, I'm just going to get down here, this is a little far away, so I'll end up putting a strip in there and making it look nice. And our house has quickly become a no silicone zone, so there will be no, I think what's going to happen here, I'm going to cut the flooring tight and we're going to glue it to the floor so it doesn't shift. But, so anyway, so this is going to run all the way along. And the bad part about this is we're probably about a year away from me building new kitchen cabinets. Okay, well, no, less than a year for me starting to build, but yeah, it's gonna take a while. So I'm going to have to make a cover strip here once this is in, so that we don't have that unsightly mess there. I think what I'll probably do is just take and make it out of something cheap like spruce, maybe throw a bit of a stain on it, and it'll be a bit of an eyesore for a while. But then we will have a good edge all the way through. So putting the rest of this flooring in should be quite simple. The bulk of the work is going to get done this year. So anyway, imagine that tile running all the way to here. So if I straighten this out, which I can do, I can measure from the wall, and there's a lot of ways to get this perfectly straight. Then I can step back to this wall here, figure out what my first row cut's going to be, and then start here, and away I go. So joining these two independent areas together isn't going to be as hard as I thought it was going to be. So besides the railing besides all the interior doors coming out, this railing is going to change as well, and that has to get done before I lay floor. At least the sole plate has to go. So it's going to look like that one over there. And these little green pieces of tape are kind of where those balusters are going to go. But this needs to be 1.5 inches thick. And like I said in the previous segment, I'm going to cut a little 1/4 by 1/4 groove and just slide the floor underneath it so it'll look seamless. So anyway, well, I think that's about all I can show you tonight. Like I say, I'm tired. It's getting late. I cleaned up everything already, so once I get the garbage to the curb, we're done for today. I'll probably edit this tomorrow and get it up tomorrow as well. So anyway, this is how things are going. I hope some of you find this interesting. Maybe a point to make is, I know your wife probably isn't going to be happy with this information, but sometimes if you're doing the work yourself and you're on a budget, there's going to be inconvenience along the way, and there will be here. We'll have that strip in the floor for a while. But anyway, the rest will look so much better we won't even notice it. So with that in mind, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And we're at 450 subscribers, so 50 more and Frosty's out the door. And if you want a pattern for Frosty, just go to teacherpayteacher.com and go to the RLDR Custom Creations site, and you can purchase it there. It's $4.99 US, and you don't have to be a teacher to buy there. So we'll see you on the weekend edition.